There we go. Good afternoon. I'm Judith Wiegand, Planning Commission Vice Chair, and I hereby call this July 17th, 2025 meeting of the Staunton City Planning Commission to order. Mr. Daniel Hansen is participating remotely this evening. Mr. Hansen, would you state the reason for your remote participation and the location from which you are participating remotely, please?
Sure. I am away from Staunton this evening to be with my family at 690 Gresham Road in Norfolk, Virginia.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
Yes, I move that the Planning Commission allow Mr. Hansen to participate remotely during the July 17th, 2025 Planning Commission meeting.
I second the motion.
We have a motion which has been properly made and seconded to allow Mr. Hansen to participate remotely. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Kessinger,
Aye.
Mr. Hutchinson,
Aye.
Ms. Wiegand.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Welcome, Mr. Hansen. Daniel. We now turn to the first item on our agenda, approval of the minutes of the June 18th, 2025 Planning Commission meeting. Are there any changes?
I mentioned to Tim that a couple of places in there I'm referred to as absent, a couple of places I'm referred to as here, and I was here.
You know,
I think, did you see that note?
I saw that note and I did talk to Kylie about that. What, can you address that, Kylie? Were you going to change the?
Well, it was because the motion wasn't made for your remote participation until a little bit into the meeting.
Okay. Okay, so
it
it's
was
the way
listed.
it should be.
Correct.
Okay, all right. I didn't mean to question you.
Oh, no, not at all.
It looked, I couldn't understand it.
okay. So may I have a motion then?
I move that we adopt the minutes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes of the June 18th, 2025 meeting as presented. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Hutchinson,
Aye.
Mr. Hansen,
Aye.
Mr. Kessinger,
Aye.
Ms. Wiegand.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. The June 18th, 2025 meeting minutes were approved as presented. We now turn to new business on our agenda. Several of the items, two of them, on our agenda tonight are public hearings. After the staff report is given in each case and the commission has the opportunity to ask questions of staff, I will open the public hearing by striking the gavel. We will first give the applicant the opportunity to make comments about their request, and then we will open the floor up for comments from the public and from anyone on Zoom. All speakers should come to the podium at the front and first provide us with their name and address. Then we ask that the applicant limit their comments to 10 minutes and that all other speakers limit their comments to 3 minutes. So item 3A, public hearing and consideration of an amendment to the City of Staunton Capital Improvement Plan fiscal year 2026 through 2030. Jesse Myers, the Chief Financial Officer for the City of Staunton, will give us the staff report.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to be here this evening with a proposed update to the 5-year capital plan. In the 5-year capital plan that was approved by the Planning Commission on February 20th, we had 2 North Augusta Street sidewalk projects and an Edgewood project that were scheduled to be funded with VDOT Smart Scale funding and administered locally. Unfortunately, the updated cost estimates for those 3 projects were significantly over budget. Higher than when they were awarded many years ago. The city had to make the tough decision to cancel the 2 North Augusta sidewalk projects and put that funding toward the Edgewood sidewalk project in order to assure the completion of at least one of those projects. That was at the February 27th council meeting. VDOT had indicated if no action was taken, then the $3.6 million allocated to the Augusta sidewalk projects would have been lost. So the 5-year capital plan that was approved by City Council on April 24th did not have the 2 North Augusta Street projects included because they had been canceled at that time. The revised 5-year capital plan before you this evening has an added project called CD 2901. You can find this project in the revised capital plan on page 62. Project CD 2901 is the design and construction of a new sidewalk and pedestrian access improvements along North Augusta Street from Lambert Street to Harper Court, with pedestrian improvements to the existing sidewalk at Augusta Street and Terry Street. The city plans to apply for VDOT revenue sharing funds to help fund 50% of the cost of this project. As you can see on the project sheet, the design is estimated to cost about $848,000 and is scheduled for 2029. Construction is scheduled the following fiscal year at an estimated cost of almost $3.4 million. The city's local match for the grant would be funded using capital reserves, primarily the new sidewalk reserve. There are several pages in the capital plan that were affected with the addition of the new project. This is a general fund project, so it affected the schedules on page 11 through 13. And then the FY 29 and FY 30 pages 22 and 25 of your, of the CIP. So this concludes my update. It was just that one project that was added back in so that we can apply for the revenue sharing, funding. We do have a public hearing scheduled for this, change to the capital project or capital plan. So you can, I can take questions now, or we can move into the public hearing.
Let's start by asking if any of the commissioners or Mr. Campbell have questions for you.
I've got a question, not necessarily related to updating the CIP, but just kind of a project general question. I mean, I know that revenue share is a 50% match. Are there any other, I mean, a $2 million bill is a large chunk. Are there any other programs that could potentially be used?
Not that I'm aware of. Rodney, are you aware of any or?
There could be other revenue sources, but this is the grant that we're applying for now. But that's not to say that, in the next 4 years, we could be looking at, revenue sources from other possibilities.
And then having this in the CIP anyway helps with that.
Absolutely,
Sure.
it does.
That makes sense.
So who does that? Who on the city staff looks for other funding sources, public or private?
People in various different departments,
Uh-huh.
engineering, community development.
So for this, it'd probably be these two over here. Let's say for a sidewalk project like this, would it be Tim and Maggie?
It would be people in community development
Uh-huh.
department, such as Tim, Maggie, myself.
Okay.
City manager's office is always looking at funding sources,
Right.
and then the engineer's office.
Okay. I
would-
don't mean to be a pain in the ass. I'm just.
Not at all.
How confident are we in this new estimate? Is that from the city? Did we get a consultant to do that? Is that from VDOT? 4.2 million.
The city engineer worked with VDOT to get that estimate. And this is a updated estimate just from last month because we submitted the preliminary application.
How many miles? That's a couple of miles, right? Something like that.
Maybe a mile.
I think it was right around a mile. I measured, yeah, it's almost exactly a mile.
From the post office to Terry Court, that's only a mile. Okay. I'm talking too much.
I think it might have been actually slightly under a mile.
Huh.
Sidewalks are quite expensive these days.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I guess you got to add a bike lane when you add the sidewalk, right?
No, sir, this is just for sidewalk.
Uh-huh. Okay.
If there are no further questions, then I'm going to open the public hearing. The public hearing is open. Is there anyone else who would like to ask questions or make comments about this? Hearing no one, I'm going to close the public hearing. Is there anyone on Zoom who wishes to speak?
We have no hands raised. So
Thank you. And Daniel doesn't have any questions. Okay, thank you. So I'm going to close the public hearing. The matter rests with the commission. So
So you don't have a prepared motion for this one, do you?
the item, yes.
Is there? Where is it? You go for it.
All right. On the basis that it would serve the interest of public necessity, convenience, general welfare, and good zoning practice, I move the Planning Commission recommend approval of an amendment to the City of Staunton Capital Improvement Plan FY 2026 through 2030.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Planning Commission recommend approval of the City of Stanton's Capital Improvement Plan fiscal year 2026-2030. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Hanson,
Aye.
Mr. Hutchinson,
Aye.
Mr. Kessiker,
Aye.
Ms. Wiegand,
Aye.
motion carries.
Thank you. The amendment to the capital improvement plan has been recommended for approval. The matter will be heard by the city council at its meeting on August 28th at 7:30 PM here in these council chambers. Is that correct?
It's 7 PM.
I'm sorry, 7 o'clock PM on August 28th. We turn now to item 3B, public hearing and consideration of a request by 240 North Central LLC to vacate, discontinue, and abandon all that portion of a 12-foot alley running a distance of approximately 250 feet in length, running between North Lewis Street and North Central Avenue and lying between 240 North Central Avenue, 221 North Lewis Street, and 212B North Central Avenue. Oliver Dahl, the application for this item, for this item, has requested that the item be tabled to give him time to try and address the concerns that have been identified by staff.
On the basis that it would serve the interests of the public necessity, convenience, general welfare, and good zoning practice, I move that the Planning Commission postpone the public hearing in consideration of this requested alley vacation to give the applicant time to address the concerns that have been identified by staff.
Second.
It's been moved and we have a motion which has been properly made and seconded to postpone the public hearing in consideration of the requested vacation. Mr. Kessiker, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Kessiker,
Aye.
Mr. Hutchinson,
Aye.
Mr. Hanson,
Aye.
Ms. Wiegand,
Aye.
motion carries.
Thank you. This item has been postponed. It will be re-advertised and rescheduled when it is ready. Let's see. Okay. Item 3C, public hearing and consideration of a request by John and Juliet Swenson for a special use permit at 950 West Beverly Street under the provisions of Stanton City Code 18.55.0603. The purpose of the special use permit is to allow living and sleeping quarters on the ground and basement levels of the building located on the property. Mr. Hartless, Planning Manager for the city, will present the staff report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As you said, this is a request by John and Juliet Swenson for a special use permit at 950 West Beverly Street to have living and sleeping quarters on the ground floor. This property is located on the south side of West Beverly, and it's located in the block between Montgomery Avenue and Stafford Street. Property was developed in 2008, and the space was formerly used for various business uses, including a small hotel and a tea room. The applicant proposes to use the entire structure as one single-family residence. The property is zoned B1 local business, and the residential use on the ground floor of the building is permitted only through the special use permit process. Staff has reviewed this request and has not identified any issues. As shown on the attached map in your packet, the surrounding zoning to the north and south is R4 high-density residential, to the east is B1 local business, and to the west is R2 low-density residential. The surrounding uses include single-family and multifamily, as well as the former Newtown Bakery. city's comprehensive plan, future land use map designates this area as neighborhood residential. This designation consists of areas where existing conditions dictate the need for careful consideration of the types and densities of future residential development. This area is characterized as large housing units on small lots, and the proposed single-family dwelling use is consistent with this designation, and staff is recommending that Planning Commission recommend approval of the special use permit with two conditions. The first condition is that residential use of the property shall be limited to one single-family dwelling. And the second is that a building permit will be required for a change of use to the building code use group, and all work must comply with the provisions of the Virginia Uniform Statewide Building Code.
Thank you. Do the commissioners have any questions for Mr. Hartless? Or
No.
Daniel?
No, ma'am.
Seeing that there are no questions at this point, I will now open the public hearing. I ask that all speakers please begin by stating your name and address and then give us your comments. Would the applicant come forward just so we can ask you any questions? Tell us anything that you'd like.
Yes, John Swenson and my wife Juliet Swenson, currently residing at 316 Baldwin Drive in Baldwin Acres. And Juliet, as most of you know, is the architect of one of Staunton's arguably most beautiful buildings, Anne Hathaway's Cottage, successfully operated by her as a bed and breakfast inn for several years from 2009 to 2015. The English tea room with the Ferrand couple for several years until 2019, and then they retired and we took the building back. So we have it again. It's bounced back into our lives. And so the idea, I think, is to broaden the potential uses of the property. It would make a lovely home for family. My wife currently operates Art by Juliet, her art studio, and also teaching painting classes in the property. And as we spoke to Mr. Hartless at one of the earlier meetings up at the high school, the special use permit would just broaden the potential uses of the building while retaining B1 business district possibilities as well for someone who might want to also operate a bed and breakfast in the future, another English tea room, or a Hungarian tea house, or whatever it might be. But Juliet, I'll let you speak to the
Well,
change here.
nothing really to add unless you have any questions.
Commissioners or Mr. Campbell have any questions? We appear to have lost Mr. Hanson up there.
Oh,
Okay, are there any questions? And thank you.
yeah.
Okay.
Is there anyone else here who would like to speak to this particular item? Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing. Let's see, where was I? Okay. The matter now rests with the commission. Do we have anything to discuss here or any further information?
I did have a question for, is the Anderson Street, that's also B1, that's pretty much all residential. Has that been under consideration for one of our mass rezonings? That whole area is, okay, just wanted to confirm.
May I have a motion?
Oh, on the basis that it would serve the interest of public necessity, convenience, general welfare, and good zoning practice, I move that Planning Commission recommend approval of the special use permit at 950 West Beverly Street with the following conditions. Number one, residential use of the property shall be limited to one single-family dwelling. And number two, a building permit will be required for a change to building code use group. All work must comply with the provisions of the Virginia Uniform Statewide Building Code.
I second that.
It has been moved and seconded that the Planning Commission recommend approval of the requested special use permit at 950 West Beverly Street with the stated conditions. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Hutchinson,
Aye.
Mr. Kessiker,
Aye.
Mr. Hanson,
Aye.
Ms. Wiegand,
Aye.
motion carries.
Thank you. The special use permit has been recommended for approval by the City Council at its meeting on August 28th at 7 o'clock here in the council chambers. Thank you. We turn now to item 3D. Public hearing and consideration of a request by SEB MEB LLC for a special use permit at 5 East Frederick Street under the provisions of Staunton City Code 18.60.0703A. The purpose of the special use permit is to allow living and sleeping quarters on the ground and basement levels of the building located on the property. Mr. Hartless, Planning Manager for the city, will present the staff report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. David Bottenfield, who's representing SEB MEB LLC, is requesting this special use permit at 5 East Frederick Street for living and sleeping quarters on the ground floor. Property is located on the north side of East Frederick Street in the block between North New Street and North Augusta Street. Space was formerly used as part of Rask Florist. Rask Florist was located at 101 North Augusta Street, which is an adjacent building, but also utilized the first floor of this building. Rask ceased operations here after a fire in 101 North Augusta Street in February of 2022. And since that time, the first floor of this building has been vacant. Mr. Rottenfield proposes to use the entire first floor of the building as one residential unit. The property is zoned B2 General Business District, and the residential use of the ground floor is permitted only through the special use permit process. Attachment 1 in your packet includes a preliminary floor layout, which shows a 2-bedroom residential unit. City real estate records indicate that the floor of this building includes approximately 1,300 square feet of space. Staff has reviewed the request and has identified no issues. The building is located on a block of East Frederick Street between Mary Baldwin University and our downtown area. The area has limited street parking. Parking is located on the north side of the street, just as the building is, which can limit the visibility of this ground floor storefront. There is limited pedestrian activity on this block of East Frederick. These factors combined create a difficult environment for business uses. The property is located within our central business district parking exempt area, so no parking is required either for business or residential use. In your packet, there is a map which shows the surrounding zoning. It's all B2 general business. The surrounding uses include the old YMCA condominiums, the Frederick Street House Hotel, and Eric Stamer's catering business, and also a small radio station. City's comprehensive plan future land use map designates this area as neighborhood residential. This designation consists of areas where existing conditions dictate the need for careful consideration of the types and densities of future residential development. The area is characterized as large housing units on small lots. This designation does not fit well with this block of West Frederick Street and should be evaluated in the current comprehensive plan update for a potential designation change. Given the surrounding residential uses, the old Y condos and the Frederick House, as well as the limited on-street parking and pedestrian activity, this proposed use appears to be in character with the surrounding area, and staff is recommending that Planning Commission recommend approval of the special use permit with 2 conditions. No more than 1 residential dwelling unit is permitted on the ground floor of the building. And a building permit will be required for a change to building code use group. All work must comply with the provisions of the Virginia Uniform Statewide Building Code.
Do the commissioners or Mr. Hartless have any questions for staff?
We had a letter from, I don't remember the person's name, stating concern for the diminishment of the business character of downtown, basically. Is that person here? I guess not.
I think that was for the other SUP, the one on Beverly Street, not this one. Wasn't it?
Okay. Well, I have some concern. Will the owner of the building retain the ability to use it as a business
So,
if we do this?
yeah, so the underlying zoning is B2 general business,
Uh-huh.
and it will retain that zoning.
So this
So-
is SUP.
This is special use
Uh-huh.
allows this residential use, but the owner can revert back to the B2 general business uses.
So this just makes more options available
Yes.
for them.
It just increases the options.
Right.
Since he hasn't been able to rent it now for several years, this
Okay.
potentially gives him another option.
Gotcha.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I will open the public hearing. Mr. Bottenfield.
Thank you. I'm David Bottenfield. I now live at 310 Valley View Drive in Staunton. I'm the owner, 100% owner of SebMeb LLC. And I bought the building earlier this year with the concept in mind of creating residential condos in the building. And the environment on that part of East Frederick Street now just is not really conducive to any type of retail business. And so my plan is to do the one condominium on the first floor that I'm requesting the special use permit for. And then the second and third floors would have 2 condos each. So there'd be a total of 5 in the building. And I think that residential use in that environment will complement the economic vitality of the downtown. The more people that live close to downtown, I think the better the support for the existing businesses.
Thank you. I did have a question about the front of the building, which right now looks like your typical storefront with a nice little entrance and the glass windows. I was wondering if you were planning to keep that, or were you planning on changing the facade of the building?
No, the facade's going to be retained.
Mhm.
And I should mention the first floor, well, actually, all 3 floors have access to a very small courtyard in the back of the building. So this first floor condo will have access from Frederick Street, but it will also have a rear door leading out to a courtyard in the back. And likewise, the second and third floor condos in the rear of the building will also, they'll have an interior access and access to that same back courtyard.
You mentioned that these were going to be condos, so they would be individually owned once they're,
Yeah, that's my plan. I don't plan to keep it as a rental or anything. I'm just going to do a nice renovation, and then the 5 will be for sale as individual condos, much like the YMCA right across the street, just a smaller version.
thank you. Are there any other questions for Mr. Bottenfield? Thank you. Is there anyone else here wishing to speak to this matter? Seeing no one, I'm going to close the public hearing, and the matter now rests with the commission.
Ms. Wiegand, if you can hear me, I have a question.
Yes, please go ahead, Daniel.
Given, and actually you asked the question I was going to ask about condominiuming the building, but since there'll be just the one owner on the bottom floor, in theory, they could still turn it back into a business if they wanted to, even if there's other owned condos above it. Is that right? And I'm kind of asking probably Tim that question as much as anybody.
Yes, the underlying zoning, so the B2 zoning would allow for this one condo to be to revert back to business use if the owner wanted to do that.
Okay, thank you.
there anyone else who has a question? Okay, is there any discussion or concerns?
Do you have the motion?
Go ahead, please.
On the basis that it would serve the interest of public necessity, convenience, general welfare, and good zoning practice, I move that Planning Commission recommend approval of the special use permit at 5 East Frederick Street with the following conditions. Number one, no more than one residential dwelling unit is permitted on the ground floor of the building. And number two, a building permit will be required for a change to building code use group. All work must comply with the provisions of the Virginia Uniform Statewide Building Code.
I second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded that the Planning Commission recommend approval of the requested special use permit at 5 Frederick Street with the stated conditions. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Hanson,
Aye.
Mr. Kessinger,
Aye.
Mr. Hutchinson,
Aye.
Ms. Wiegand.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The special use permit has been recommended for approval by the City Council at its meeting on August the 28th at 7 o'clock here in the council chambers. Thank you. We turn now to item 4, old business. An update on the mass rezoning of existing non-conforming residential uses in areas zoned business and industrial in the Historic District and the South Side. Maggie Taylor, the Long Range Planner, will present the update.
I really don't have too much of an update for you guys tonight, actually, but I just wanted to let you all know that we are still on track to do the public hearing at next month's meeting. We still only have one opt-out at this point as well. So we will be sending the notification letters to the subject and adjacent properties within the next week or so.
So the public hearing at August meeting.
Yep.
Any questions for Maggie or any thoughts or comments or additions? Daniel, we can't see you, so I need for you to speak up if you have anything.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize you couldn't see me. I was just sort of shaking my head. No, I'm good.
Good. Well, there you are, blink.
Having some issues.
You sort of blink in every now
Screen's
and
cutting in and out.
Yeah.
You're better off not seeing me, to be fair.
Oh, come on.
Agreed.
Well, I didn't say that. With that in
It
mind,
was
we-
sitting right there.
we don't need to do a motion or anything for this item, so thank you very much, Maggie. And to Tim and Rodney and everyone else who's been working on this project.
Yes.
We turn now to item 5, other business. May we have an update on the Code of Virginia plat change? Mr. Bartlett?
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to make you all aware of a change to the Code of Virginia, which we recently became aware of, which took effect on July 1. And that change was House Bill 974, and it removed Planning Commission and City Council from the plat review and approval process. So moving forward, all plats, regardless of if they're minor subdivisions or final plats, would be reviewed and approved administratively by the subdivision agent. Planning Commission and the governing body will no longer have a role in those reviews or approvals.
Is that, I thought, up to 50 lots?
That was for preliminary plats.
Gotcha.
You're not, developer's not required to do a preliminary plat unless the development would
Right.
create more than 50. But this is a change that just took effect July 1, and it affects every locality statewide, and every plat is now administrative.
Do you have a sense for what the objective of this change is? To make it easier to develop, to get a project through, or?
I believe it was about speeding up the process, reducing the time that it takes to get a plat approved.
Okay.
And in most cases, if a plat complied with the subdivision requirements and the zoning code, it would be approved. It almost has to be approved. So I think the General Assembly decided that it would be better to just shorten the process, make it all administrative.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
I'll comment on this one if that's okay.
Yes, please, Daniel.
Couple of thoughts. The first of which is, Tim, because the state code changed, does that mean we need to change the zoning, the subdivision ordinance to align with the state code?
We
And-
will be doing that. The city attorney has already written and drafted that change, and it will be going to council next month.
Perfect. The second thought I have on this, and obviously this one's sort of near and dear to me, if I'm being fair. I totally understand the thought process when it comes to final plats, because they really are more of a technical thing than anything. But I personally having a little bit of heartburn over a preliminary plat / master plan, if you will, like something that we're adding things to the city, but then the city council, planning commission don't get a say in it at all.
Mhm.
You know, on that level, like, is there some way we can kind of still have sort of a plan come to us versus a plat? Is that, can we kind of look into that a little bit to where?
So, yeah, so I've given some thought to that too. And if the subdivision required a master plan, that would still come before planning commission and city council for approval. Because the master plan is a plan, so it requires a public hearing. But the final plat would not.
Gotcha. Okay. That to me, that makes sense too. That sort of that. I was worried the word plat was what was holding that up, you know?
Sure.
We could always consider adding a generalized development plan to our rezoning requirements.
They'll be sorry they ever argued for this, really. Okay. Thank you, Daniel.
Thanks.
Let's see. Any other questions about this or comments? Then we will move on to item 7, which is matters from the public. Is there anyone here who wishes to bring a matter before today's commission meeting and like to have questions or discussion? Seeing no one, thank you. Our next planning commission is scheduled for August 21st, 2025. Is that right? Thought I checked that. Hold on. Thursday. Yes, it's the 21st. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn today's meeting. Thank you all.
Yes.